Well, the good news is that for all of our advancements in technology, regardless of the fact that we are facing the fourth industrial revolution, the reality is that we can't drive any change without conversation. Imagine for a moment you wanted to change behavior with a colleague, a client, and often those client conversations are change conversations. If we look at these massive disruptors that are coming our way, we're going to need to be equipped to have change conversations. But how do we do that? And conversation intelligence is based very strongly on the premise that we need predictable and reliable approaches in order to become effective at this. So normally we just kind of ad-lib it, and most people think they're great at communication. If you think back a decade ago, and I'm sure that there are a lot of Steve Jobs and Apple evangelists watching this. Please don't throw anything at me. But 10 years ago, if you took the latest iPhone and you held it up against a Samsung, there were massive differences. But today, the differences in specifications are marginal. And that's what's happening. So where we were able to differentiate on price and product, those gaps are getting a lot smaller. The differentiation on price is becoming increasingly difficult to manage. And so what really our opportunity now for differentiation lies in aligning ourselves with our buyers. And alignment with your buyers requires you to be able to have an insight-led conversation. So unfortunately, as we're coming out of this information age, the consequence of that is we're drowning in information. And we literally cannot cope. The good news is that means brokers and consultants have got an opportunity to help us disseminate that information. And realistically, what that means is, in a conversation, can you bring me insight? Not information, insight. And insight comes from your experience. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's had the experience of engaging my mouth before my brain. Why do I mention that? Because we forget that conversations are really only a reflection of the quality of our thinking. So how would one drive a business outcome for a client or accelerate an outcome for a client if we aren't able to convey the quality of our thinking and our insight through meaningful, relevant conversations? It's in those conversations that we educate our clients. You see, one of the things we strongly believe is, so firstly, selling doesn't help. Selling doesn't help, but helping sells. And so our roles are shifting, instead of being product pushers, to educators. We are becoming increasingly invested in the outcomes of our clients. When we drive outcomes, we get reciprocal business. When we drive outcomes, we get relationships based on relevance. When we drive outcomes, we are ensuring the sustainability of our organization while ensuring the sustainability of our clients. And that, for me, is what conversation intelligence really is. So my background is sales. I've been in sales as long as I can remember. If I were a Russian doll, if you cut me open and went into the core, I'd still be a salesperson. And I'm passionate about it. I believe that sales is the transfer of enthusiasm from one individual to another. The obvious challenge with that is that there are some times where we're not that enthusiastic about what we do, in which case find something you are enthusiastic about. So I've been in sales my whole life. I've seen it done well, and I've seen it done poorly. I have had days where I have felt tremendous about my contribution, and I have had days where I haven't felt that good. And so increasingly, as I grew and matured as an individual, I was looking for a space where I could feel good about the value that I'm able to deliver to both my clients and, well, in this industry where we are now, it's my clients' clients as well. Also passionate, however, about South Africa. So I'd come up to Johannesburg 6 years ago. My background is in sales. I've been in office automation, advertising, radio, etc., etc. But wanted to see things being able to be done differently in South Africa. And you come up to Johannesburg from a small town like Port Elizabeth, you can't help but just be inspired by how vibrant and diverse and metropolitan the environment is. And I was in a conversation with somebody who said to me, this whole BEE thing, it's never going to work, blah, blah, blah. And in a relatively short space of time, I also had a conversation with a client who said to me that they found themselves stuck because they really wanted to get world-class content, but they also wanted to support local business and local transformative business. And it just made me think, can't this be done better? And how can I ultimately serve a market that is largely different from me if don't have stakeholders and shareholders that are different to me? So at that stage, I went from running my own business called Pitchcraft to establishing Conversation Intelligence Africa. And we're very proud to say we're level 2 BEE. And it's not just about the shareholding of the company. We really believe we can do this well. We really believe that we can have diverse facilitators, and we can, in the name of conversation intelligence, resonate with people who may be very different to us. And to date, one of our proudest accolades, and it's really the business is not, it's still quite young. Aside from the fact that we've dealt with clients, large clients within the insurance industry, I won't tell you whom, but large clients. One of our greatest accolades is that an international organization is sought our content from us in South Africa, because the work we delivered to them brought about 48 new high-stakes clients conversations. So that's what Conversation Intelligence Africa is. We're invested in the outcomes of our clients, and we're invested in the outcome of this beautiful country of ours. I'm Shelley Walters, CEO of Conversation Intelligence Africa, and you are watching Risk Africa TV.